So this is our silo, which holds the malted barley, the main base of our malted barley. So the 2-row, it's a real pale malt. And that tank holds about 50,000 pounds when it's full. So we're going here, that gets drawn up by an auger and is gonna go through our mills. We bring it into our specialty room here. That grain makes about 85% of the beers usually. This is a crystal malt, and this type of stuff is our specialty malts. They make up closer to 15% of the rest of the mash bill. So yeah, so they go through this mill over here. Gets real loud, so we won't turn it on, but and just gets the grain cracked. So you kind of crack it like you got a rolling pin. Okay. And so just like a little bit. So that's gonna go up and through an auger over here and into our mash tun. Inside this mash tun is a false bottom that the grain bed will sit on. We're mixing it with hot water at this point. And we're gonna bring this to around 150 degrees or so, plus or minus, depending on what style of beer you're doing. It's gonna sit in there for an hour. During that time, it's going to basically melt down the proteins, the amino acids, and all the carbohydrates in there. So it's a more simpler form. So that's gonna be, when we're done with that hour of time, we're gonna wash that grain. This is called sparging. We're basically gonna wash that grain of all the good stuff, all the sugars and stuff out of there that we want, into our brew kettle. Our brew kettle, we're going to, sparging will take about an hour. When we're ready to start boiling, it'll be about an hour and 15 minutes of boil time. We're gonna add hops in there at various times. The early hops, the longer the hops we put in the hops early, the longer they're in there, the more bittering you're gonna get out of it. That's a bittering component. Next component you have is a flavor. It's gonna be in the middle of the boil. And then at the very end is the aroma hops. So that's how you get all those different components in there. So, and like I said earlier, the hops are a natural preservative. So that takes about an hour. So it's hard to like with the actual walkthrough. So after that hour, we take that brew out of the kettle and we'll transfer it into our Whirlpool, leaving behind all the extra hops and proteins that were boiled out. And then we reach this, it sits about 30 minutes, and then we reach that point where we're at now, which is we're transferring that beer into a fermenter. So that hot wort right there is coming out and going through our heat exchanger with cold water going in one section and hot water coming through the back, and then the chilled wort to the temperature we want, about 70 degrees right now. We're oxygenating right now, which is what the yeast likes to happen in an oxygen environment. Going into our fermenter, and that'll take that week. If you go over here, we have a beer fermenting already. We brewed this earlier in the week, and you can see down in here, right now, the byproduct of that yeast eating the sugars are carbon dioxide, which is being blown off right now, and alcohol. And that's what's being left behind. And this will take about a week, and it'll ferment like that for most of that time.